Hello everyone, and welcome to yet again another in-depth look at this very interesting pattern that we're seeing popping up on the charts from Friday onwards. Um, we're very likely to see high pressure becoming centered to our west, north, and northeast quite frequently on some runs, and therefore we be bringing in bitterly cold easterly or northerly winds. But I must stress that only some runs do that. Others just have the high toppling southwards and allowing the westerlies to come back around them. So starting off with the GFS midnight run, and if we go through this, have we got the hover on? Have not. The GFS midnight run, starting off today, Wednesday, has these very mild westerly winds, overcast, gloomy skies. Into Thursday, just spoil things there. Into Thursday, we have the high pressure moving northwards towards Iceland. On Friday, we see a very light northerly winds. We're on the periphery of a cold blast. Upper temperatures quite mild, but chilly in the east. I say frosty on the Friday night with that. Into Saturday, we move towards the high just gradually slips towards the east and southeast. But look, this little low pressure comes in from the west, and look, we've got heights rising towards Iceland. What happens then? That little low pressure comes in on Sunday and Monday, moves to our south, dies away. Big high pressure forming over Norway and Sweden, and by Tuesday, Wednesday, we're pulling in an easterly wind. And this easterly continues throughout Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. On Tuesday, the 5th of December, we start seeing an attack from the west, and this does break milder air through. But if we have cold air over us for about a week, just full on, we will see a risk of wintry showers quite widely, very icy conditions, bitterly cold air, and snow as the mild air tries to push the cold air away. Beyond this, we go into a very mild southerly pattern, but also very wet, with these areas of low pressure threatening bands of heavy rain. Upper temperatures, nothing too special until Tuesday and Wednesday, when that -5 isotherm does come in from the east and sticks around the country, engulfs us for about 5 days or 6 days and ends. So it doesn't take like a beast from the east to get severe cold like these temperatures up here. All you need is cold air. Um, sorry, modestly cold air, should I say? Modestly cold air. Just to be over us for a long time. Then the cold will build up. If you see what I mean. So by 4th of December, it'll be freezing. Now this could be snowy as it comes in. Another way to look at it is the ensembles, but also just say that the 18Z run yesterday evening was absolutely freezing. Here we go. So this is for Dublin. There we go. Okay. So this we saw this, I think it was last time we did this sort of video. So basically each line on the run that isn't green, whites, or reds, like these two lines, this one, those are ensembles, and they are each unique run of the GFS, and they start off with very slightly different starting positions, and then they just go off and see what they do. The green line is the operational run. That's what I just showed you. The white line is the average, the mean of ensembles, and the red line is the long-term average for upper air temperatures. You can see that the GFS midnight run is actually quite well supported by its ensembles. with that cold snap. You see a lot of them. I wish I could get this white sheet out of the way, listing all the members and the temperatures. But if you're trying to see this area here that I'm circling, a bunch of them go down to around -5 Celsius isotherm level or lower. So the GFS looking quite confident about this easterly snap. A few members still hang on to the milder air here, but definitely a huge swing. Last night's 18Z members weren't so cold, and the 12Z weren't so cold, and the 6Z weren't so cold. So a big trend towards that cold spell coming in next week. But let's look at some other runs now. UK Met Run. The ECM hasn't finished updating it, so we'll leave it to the last. Okay. Here we go. So, UK Met Run. Starting off, same position, with these mild westerly winds bringing cloud, but the high goes westwards on Friday, brings a cold, dry few days there, Friday, Saturday, Sunday possibly. But on this run, this trough is over Iceland, and it comes towards the UK on Monday. In the end, it comes towards us. The high goes southwards. We attempt at a Scandinavian high on Monday, but it ridges to the Azores high, and therefore does not pull in the easterly. And what happens then is what happened there, but this trough comes in from the north, and the ridge here helps to put in this northwesterly wind. So you may go cold, actually, in the end, from northerlies, if not easterlies, because that's been the trend recently on many runs. So I'd say that if we were to run this if we were to run this a bit further on, this ridge would go eastwards and northwards and pull in a northerly flow. But this run doesn't go for the easterly. The GEM is quite interesting, I'm pretty sure. Okay, the GEM. Let's see what this is showing. So again, going for this light northerly on Friday and Saturday, cold and dry. Then you see this low coming in from the northwest on Sunday. Heights rise over Scandinavia. We sort of pull off an easterly, sort of, habitually, but not really. In the end, this area of high pressure to our west, and this low forming over Greenland, they combine. Well, it's actually that low. They combine to form a northerly flow. So we get cold from a northerly in the end. Upper temperatures, they do get chillier. -5 isotherm coming down from the north. Yeah, so the GEM goes cold from northerlies, not easterlies, but around the same time frame as the GFS. This is the icon. Actually, I want to show you the GEM ensembles before we do that. It's a GEM. GFS, GEM. Okay. Right, so these members are picking up on this colder spell or snap around here, something around Wednesday. Again, a good bunch of them go down to around -5, either from an easterly or northerly source. So I think we are firming up on the chance of a cold snap or cold spell again next week from Wednesday onwards. But now it's like, where will it come from? The north or the east? Or will it even verify? Because sometimes, quite a lot of the time in this country, we see tantalizing signs for cold weather for weeks on end, and then 2 days before we end up there, it goes away. This is the icon run. Oh dear. This is the icon. Let's get that on hover. Okay. Icon shows the same thing over the weekend, cold and dry. What happens then? The high goes south. Nothing really exciting, so nothing happens. no high over here. And what happens then? We may be in for a northerly plunge if this ridge goes here and this trough goes here. And the icon may be going for a northerly, maybe, just maybe. But if this ridge stays where it is, we'll just waft the air up constantly from the southwest. Arpege. This run is interesting because it follows the trends of the GFS, but unfortunately we can't see how the trends evolve. What the results in, should I say. Okay, so cold and dry over the weekend, a light northerly flow. The high comes over us. This little low pressure system comes here. Heights rise over Iceland. By the 26th, we're seeing this low to our northwest, probably coming this way, and the heights rising over Iceland. Similar trend to the GFS, so possibly after this, we'd go into the easterly flow. I don't know. Anyway, the ECM should be nearly fully out now. I think it's not fully out yet, but okay, never mind. We have to make use of what we have. It's only at 216 hours. It should be at 240, but it's only one day missing, so unless it looks very interesting, that's a shame. So tomorrow Thursday, we're seeing these westerly winds. Friday sees that light northerly flow, quite dry. Saturday sees cold and dry weather. Sunday sees the ridge toppling southwards, allowing a milder flow around it. Yeah, Monday not looking too great. Westerly flow, quite dry. Tuesday, a bit mild, possibly a little cold front coming in. Wednesday, starting to see a cold plunge forming to our northwest. Thursday, okay, we're into a cold northerly, and Friday as well. So actually, even though the ECM and a few others, I think the GM as well, quite a few of them are going cold with a northerly flow Wednesday, Thursday onwards. So, I think that even if the easterly doesn't verify, we could well go cold with this northerly flow. So the ECM ensembles today, I hope they've I don't think they've loaded. Yeah, I'm not sure it's loaded yet. No, they haven't loaded. No, they haven't loaded. But before we go, I mentioned that in this country we have so many cold snaps where they are always on the forecast for like 2 weeks out beforehand, and like in the end we end up miles. Well, for those of you who have been, who love the weather and always watch the models, well, know that Christmas 2021 was a huge letdown in terms of cold weather. For like about a week or two beforehand, we constantly saw signs of the high going towards Greenland, Iceland, this sort of area, and a cold plunge coming from this direction, from Scandinavia, and the lows here running towards France and Spain. In the end, though, like I think it was the 22nd of the month that we saw these lows win out over the cold air. I'll show you how it happened. It's really quite painful. 20th of December, high through the country towards Greenland. 21st, the high is centering towards Greenland, but we're still drawing up quite a mild southeasterly wind. The 22nd of the month, we've got this low to the west, drawing up these wet winds from the south, but look at that, cold air to the north. 23rd, blocking towards Greenland intensifies, cold plunge from Scandinavia with this core of the PV coming towards us, trying to Christmas Eve. Look how painfully close that is, right? The cold air, upper temperatures, just the other side of just towards Scotland, Northern England. But by Christmas Day, the low to our west exceeds and it goes away, miles. It looked beforehand as though these cold winds would come down, but it all flipped 3 days beforehand after such a long time of cold weather forecasters. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, and hopefully this isn't a letdown. Bye for now.